Welcome in, my dear ones. Psychic Mia here from Spiritual Society. Their thoughts and feelings about you, their head versus their heart. So today we're going to take a look at what their head is telling them, what their heart is telling them about you. We're also going to take a look at what you need to know about you, any blocks, anything that's going on in your world, in your energy. So our mission here is to help guide you to unblock your energy through spiritual practices like tarot readings so that you can live your most aligned life. So I want you to release anything that you need to. I want you to let yourself open up some space for this reading. Open up some energetic space, some mental space. Let go of anything that happened today, this week, and let yourself just really land and arrive right here, right now. Release your shoulders, release any tension. And as you do this and you open yourself up, I want you to notice if you start feeling drawn to one of these 4 piles and one of these 4 crystals. So we're looking at pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, or pile 4. Let yourself take a breath. Dive into your intuition and choose a card right now. Welcome in, my card 1. Land and arrive. Be here with me now. Ha, ha, ha. Their thoughts and feelings about you, their head versus their heart. So this black deck is going to be their head and the gold deck is going to be their heart. I also have a pink deck where I'm going to pull some cards for you as well. Let's get started with them and let's get started with these 2 cards. So let's see where we're starting off. What is the temperature that we're reading right now? So we're starting with the King of Pentacles reversed and the Fool. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're getting a lot of information right away. So the King of Pentacles reversed is, the King of Pentacles is such a wonderful card. This person, they're consistent. They're dedicated. They have this fatherly energy. They're protector, providership. They grow everything around them. But there is something a little bit stuck and stagnant in their head. There is something that is resistant in their head. There is something that's not a complete willing participant in their head. They're not completely all in yet in their mind. There is stuff in their mind that is holding them back, keeping them from being their fullest self, their truest potential, offering up all those gorgeous golden goodies that they have and that they bring to the table. They're not fully inhabiting themselves with you yet in their head. So there is something that, their sort of logic and their reason and their mind is holding back on, but their heart is wide open. Their heart is playing the Fool, and the Fool, this card is the beginning of the entire journey. This is where everything starts, is those wide open arms. It is the precipice, the edge of the cliff. You could fall, you could land on your 2 feet, you could end up going the right direction. Who knows? It's an adventure. So their heart really is feeling this, but it's being censored and held back by their head. So there's some real interesting play going on here, and I'm guessing that you feel that already, that you're getting mixed signals, because this is definitely a mixed message that's coming in. In one moment, they're holding back, they're not giving their all, they're not being their fullest self, they're sort of almost denying certain aspects of letting this be what it could really be. And then in the next moment, you can feel in their eyes, in their face, in their heart, in their actions, you can feel these little things pop through where it is just like openness. It is beautiful. It is a willingness to get hurt. It is a willingness to walk in and be a part of this and really stand with you and have those arms wide open to it. And so I'm guessing that you're feeling a lot of back and forth. Let's continue on. So I'm going to start with 4 cards for their head. We have 1, 2, I'm just being guided by the energy here, 3, and closing my eyes, 4. And we're going to pull 4 for their heart as well, because this dynamic is very interesting. Okay. Okay, we have We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. And actually, I'm feeling this other one that's just a card away from that card as our 4th card. Okay, so let's see what we have here for them. So just sort of stepping into them and their energy. We have the 5 of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 3 of Wands, and we have the Magician. Ooh, a lot of Wands energy popping up right away. Very, very interesting. I want to turn over what we have for their heart as well. We have Judgment. We have the Magician again. So remember, these are 2 separate decks, so we can always be pulling duplicate cards at any time. So we have the Magician again. Very interesting. We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Moon. Oh yes. Okay, let's go. So first of all, going on with their head. So in their mind, there is a little bit of a battle going on. This card is a little bit of a fighting card. Now, our wands really get into this fire energy. There's this fire, this passion, this purpose, this heated energy. So there is something that's sort of going back and forth. They are, doing that reasoning with themselves. Pros and cons list kind of thing, where they're letting their intelligence really step in and make decisions, but it's not making a clear decision. There's a lot of cacophonous energy. It's just kind of battling it out in their brain. There's also something a little bit competitive about this card. Now, when we get into the Wheel of Fortune, they are feeling and understanding how fortunate they are, how lucky they are. They understand what a prize you are. They can feel your energy. They can feel what an incredible impact you bring into the room, into the table, into them. They understand that on an intellectual level, what you're bringing in and why that is so lucky, and that even having the opportunity with you, that is a very lucky thing. That is a very fortuitous, fortunate thing. And they have a very intellectual understanding of this. So in their mind, they reason with themselves and they understand that, this is good. I don't want to completely shut this out. I want to stay open to this. This person is unique and wonderful, and you bring so much to the table, and they're feeling how lucky they are that they're able to share in this energy with you, and there's potential and possibility with you. Now, we also have the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands gets into this. Again, we're back in this Wands energy, that fire, that passion, that purpose. The Wands also brings a lot of growth. We have these little, growing buds off of the Wands. There's a lot of growth energy happening here. And this is very much a card of sort of looking at what they've accomplished, what they've done, what's transpired, what has passed. And there's a part of them that's doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of looking, a lot of stepping away and looking at things from a very broad view in their mind, where they're really being very introspective. They're being very sort of trying to make decisions about what went right and what went wrong in the past, how that has all transpired, how it's all played out, what's good, what's bad. There's a lot of, just sort of step back, remove yourself, take a moment, take a beat, look over, review, and figure out what they want to do again, what they don't want to do again, what they really want out of a partner and out of life. And then we're also getting the Magician here. So there is a part of them in their mind that feels like they can have it all, they can have anything. This is a Master Manifestor card. It has every single tool on the table here, and it's a very action-oriented card. And there's a part of them that feels extremely capable, that if, they wanted to make this work with you, they could make this work with you intellectually. If they wanted to, do something else, they could do something else. They have this feeling of complete confidence, like an overriding sense of confidence. That doesn't mean that they don't have, downfalls or things that they're not self-conscious of, or, that are tucked away in there. But there is an overriding sense of whatever needs to happen, I can make happen. I can have whatever I want to have. There is this very confident, lovely, divine masculine energy in that, of action and being able to step in and have what they want and make it happen. Now, getting into their heart, we have Judgment starting us off. So there is something in their heart that has been judged harshly, I feel, and something in their heart that also is judging, and I feel this is that they're judging themselves harshly. I feel like this is something from the past. Something from the past that happened that it really broke them, and it broke a piece off of them, and they haven't made peace with it yet. They can't come to terms with it yet. They haven't gotten to the feeling where they've accepted those things about themselves yet, where they felt less than in a previous relationship or with a previous person, and it haunts them. And this isn't necessarily a previous romantic relationship. This could be, parent-child relationship. This could be, but something where the person that they got judged by, that they felt like they weren't good enough and that they needed to be better. That feeling came from somebody that they respected very much, that they loved very much, that they very much wanted a positive opinion from, and they just couldn't get it. And they're having such a hard time coming to peace with themselves. There's a battle going on, not just around what to do with, stepping into a relationship or not stepping into a relationship or being romantic, but also just with accepting themselves and loving who they are and feeling like they're good enough. Like that they're achieving what they need to achieve, that they have the attributes that they want to have, that they're respected by other people. There's something that's a little bit tortured in there. Now, also, the Magician is popping up in the heart as well as in the head. So on both a head level and on a heart level, with the emotions as well, they feel extremely competent. They feel like if they want to have a relationship with you, they can have it. If they want to make this work, they can make it work. If they have a feeling that if they wanted to let this go, they could. And maybe there's a part of them doesn't want to let go of the previous hurts that have happened to them, that they want to have some sort of redemption or something instead. There's some experience that they're trying to get to that's blocking them from really moving forward or leaping in or playing the fool and being their complete King of Pentacles self. So there is this innate feeling of, I can make anything happen that I want to make happen. I have the power, I can take the action, I have confidence in myself, I know my abilities and my capabilities here, and whatever my heart is destined for, I can lean into that and I can manifest that. Now, here we get into the Knight of Swords and we get into the Moon. Now, the Knight of Swords does get into a mental space. The Swords getting into mental space, intelligence, thought space, head space, getting into the air. And this is a very fast forward moving card. And look at all of this action. This is a dramatic card. It's very action forward. This is like, no, there's nothing I'm going to be afraid of. I'm going full in, all in, nothing's holding me back. Full force forward, cutting through the lies or the untruths, getting to the truth, getting to the clarity. And there is a part of them that just wants to run, And I don't mean run away. I just mean run in. Wants to take action, wants to move forward in their life, wants to move forward with you, wants to lean in and let all of this happen, let everything unfold, to sweep you up with them and just plow forward. And this is tapping into their thoughts as well. So this heart space is tapping into their head space, because we are getting into that sword space. So there is something that this momentum, this velocity, this intensity is moving forward. And I feel like you must feel this in moments, because this is a very powerful, extreme force that is moving forward. And we also have the Moon. So there is also a part of their heart that is shadowed in secret, that is hiding the full truth, that isn't completely known to you. There's a part that is secretive, that doesn't want to be fully exposed and is reticent to do that, is hiding behind the shadows and hiding in the darkness. So there are some things that you don't know. You're not getting the full picture. And it might be about these past judgments, about perhaps even their wanting to be in the place where they don't feel good enough, where they feel inadequate, and they actually want to encourage that feeling in themselves, perhaps. Since they know they're capable of moving on from anything they want to move on from, they know their capabilities, but there is something that keeps bringing them back to this space. So there are some pieces that you haven't completely seen yet, that haven't been completely known to you. And they also do have this intuitive side as well. That's hanging out in this space of their deep knowing, their deep inner knowing in their heart and in their feelings and in their emotions. I would like to pull, I'm going to pull another card in that heart space, because I would like to pull a card for these secrets, just if there's anything that we can know, if there's anything the cards want to share with us about this sort of secretive self, the secretive part of them. Oh my gosh, we have the King of Pentacles. I love it when we get beautiful synchronicities like this and where we get clear messages. This part of themselves that they are not completely showing to you, this is what they're keeping secret. This is what they're hiding away. And they do have a gorgeous, they would make a great partner. This person is protector, provider energy, just consistent routine. And there's a part that they are hiding away and this is coming from the heart space, that they are hiding away, and they're doing it with their intelligence, that they're not fully showing you. They're not fully showing up as who they are. There's some masking going on. There's some holding back. And I don't know why. I'm not sure if they're holding back because they're afraid if they're their fullest self that you might fall in love with that, and they're not sure if they're ready for that, or that they might let themselves be vulnerable and exposed, and they might fall in love with you because that's part of what happens when we get really vulnerable and exposed and people accept us for who we are. There is something that they're really holding back and holding on to here. Now, I would like to pull one more for their head, getting back into this. So holding back on this, and I would just like to ask the cards if we can know why, if there's any, why answer that we can get. Oh, and my cards feel really sticky right here. Okay. I'm feeling like there is something in there, and that stickiness that is meant for us. And we have the Ace of Wands. We're back in that Wands energy, that fire energy, that growth energy. So we're asking why here they feel like they have to hide this part away from you and show up as their full self. And that might be something they mask and they don't show the world in general. Doesn't mean it's just for you. It could be everyone. But the reason that they're doing that, this suggests that there's this beautiful handing off. The aces bring new opportunities, and the wands bring that fire, that passion, that purpose, all that yummy juiciness. And this is a very powerful card. It really sweeps in something new with it. And I do think that the reason why is because it would bring a whole new level. There would be something entirely new, and it would take things into a whole new space. And they have to make peace with being in that space and decide whether they really want to be in that space or not. If they want to hold on to the past, if they want to hold on to past regrets, if they feel like they have, they might be holding on to this because they feel like it's improving them, that they're pushing themselves to be better because they're holding on to past negativity. But there's something that is holding them back from leveling up this, wherever you are in this, whether you are actually talking or not, or dating or not, or in a relationship or not, wherever you are in this would move things to a whole new level. And they know that it would bring in a brand new opportunity of just fire and passion and moving you both forward. And it could be very strong and very powerful, and the kind of thing that you can't hold back once it's started. I want to pull a couple of cards for you. Oopsie daisies, there we are. I want to pull a couple of cards for you. So I just want to ask a couple of questions for our cards for you. And like we're using this beautiful pink deck for you. So I would first of all like to ask, what do you need to know about this person? What do you need to know about this person? Oh boy, we're back in the Five of Wands. So there is this little fight that's going on inside of them, and that's really important for you to know. There also might be a combativeness in their spirit. There might be something that wants to fight against you generally. You might get some like fighting resistance from them, and you might get some intense competition from them, where that competition could turn around and turn on you, where at some point you could become competitive in your relationship, and that could be detrimental and dangerous. But it's important to know that they do have this little, I'm almost feeling this like starting a fire with, the two sticks, and that kind of like sparking a flame, although those two things don't really go together. You're either using the sticks or you're using the like fire starter spark. But either way, it feels like that kind of friction that like starts fires. And this is what that feels like to me, is that there could be some friction that starts fires. So they may not be the easiest person to move forward with. There could be some real battles, some real fighting spirit. This could also be the kind of person who automatically puts up a fight, without even knowing why they do it. Okay, now I would like to know what you need to know about you right now. What do you need to know about you right now? Oh, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So first of all, you are completely worthy. You're completely worthy of this King of Pentacles energy. You really are a full package. This is a beautiful card. This is a completion card. It's a 10 card. And this is a card of like generational wealth. And I am feeling like an abundance of heart space, of goodness, of incredible things is coming into your life regardless of what happens here with this person. So no matter what, you don't need this King of Pentacles energy to give you all of the abundance that you need in your life. That is going to be there for you regardless. And good things are coming for you. So own that and own your worthiness, because you are worthy of receiving this. Whether this person chooses to or not, your worthiness of it is not in question. Okay. Let's continue on. And that also gets back to that Wheel of Fortune. They understand how lucky they are. Okay. Now, I would like to know for you if you have any blocks towards love, towards this person, but also perhaps from another person. But do you have any blocks in love right now? Is there anything we need to know about anything that could be blocking you? Interesting, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So we're really holding on to that Pentacles space. The Eight of Pentacles is kind of this very consistent, very routine, it's like showing up every day and working and accruing money. It's that kind of feeling. Showing up to do the work, being complacent or happy about it, letting yourself just show up and show up and show up. And because you're doing that, you're getting richer and richer and richer and growing and growing and growing. And that could be with skills, that could be with anything. But it is that act of showing up, showing up, showing up. And so this is telling me, based on our question, that you might have a hard time showing up for yourself. Some days you do it, some days you don't do it, but you could be more consistent. I would love to know if that feels true for you or not. Or if you feel like, no, I'm crazy consistent. And maybe you're really consistent in certain areas and really inconsistent in other areas. But we're asking specifically about love here. So this could be in multiple ways of being a consistent person for the person that you're trying to attain. This could be being a consistent person for yourself so that you continue loving yourself in the way that makes you magnetic and brings people in. But there is some sort of inconsistency going on here. If you feel that, if you own that, I would really like to hear your feelings about that. I would like to ask one more question about any blocks, because I feel like that's very important for you moving forward. Any blocks? And we have this Six of Wands. We're in that fire, passion, purpose phase. This is a winning card. And this is interesting. I'm not getting a clear read on this. I feel like I'm going to just sort of say this as I see this, and I'd love to know if that hits something in you. But this kind of riding in victory, overcoming something, that you've come from somewhere and you've overcome something, but that's showing up as a block. In whatever way that you're winning, that is also showing up as sort of an Achilles heel. That because you've won in this way and that you've done really well and you've been really successful, in some aspect, and that could be in career, that you've been really successful in your career, and so that means you've really not paid attention to your heart or paid attention to romance and love, or that you're really successful in some previous relationship or something, but there's something about that that's acting as a block for you moving forward in your heart space. And often really sitting into the fire of this energy, all these positive things would move you toward what you want. So I would really take a look at that and just see if you can ask yourself some questions and journal about that. I'm going to pull one last card for you. So my last card that I'm going to pull for you is for what you need to know about your heart and love moving forward into the future. This doesn't necessarily have to do with this person. This is just for you. This is just a little insight from the cards about, and the world comes in. Everything is coming for you. You're good. You're good. You don't have to worry about everything or anything. This figure is often called the Dancer. And this is things really being given to you. This is also the ending of a phase. And there are things to celebrate within that phase. Even if there were hard things, difficult things, heartbreaking things in that phase, this is the time to look at those, appreciate those, champion yourself, pat yourself on the back and give yourself a round of applause, and get ready for this new cycle that is beginning. There's a whole new cycle that's beginning for you. There's something brand new that is opening up for you, whether it is this with this person or if this is something new that hasn't come in yet or something else from the past. But there is something new coming in for you. And if you wanted to do a deeper dive, you could, there's a link below where you can do that. I would love for you, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe right now. So that you get more content like this, but also just as confirmation that this feels like it resonates, like you're feeling the tingles of stuff that are going on in here. And I would like for us to drop the Dancer below, the little red Dancer. Let's drop the Dancer below the emoji and leave me any comments. I would really love to hear your thoughts about this. I read all the comments. I don't always comment on the comments, but I read them all, and it really means a lot to me. So I love seeing your comments below. I'm sending you love and light until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card to land, arrive. Their thoughts and feelings about you, their head versus their heart. So we're pulling from two separate tarot decks. This black deck is going to be their head deck. This gold deck is their heart deck. So let's take a look at our anchor cards. Let's see what we pulled and where we're getting started. We're also going to be pulling from a separate third deck, the pink deck, for you and for what's going on with you. So let's see what we have. We have the Five of Pentacles and we have the Three of Cups. Oh my goodness. This is... Okay, so getting into their head, I mean, just take a look at how different these cards are. The different stories they're telling. I mean, the cups get into heart space. This gets into feelings and emotions. This is like joy having and yummy goodness. And then their head space, it's cold, it's bereft, it's hungry, it's searching. Their head is in a strange place right now. So they are, I almost want to say, a little bit desperate in their head. They're out in the cold. They're not feeling warm and cozy. They're not feeling like, they're not warming up to things yet in their head. There's a part of their conscious, their intelligence, their thought patterns that feels very off with you, that feels like it's not the right fit. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel, there's something very reluctant here, very searching and hungry, and it's not being fed and nourished. However, on the other hand, their heart is very much being nourished. There's something joyful and fun having, and they're really genuinely, they feel this sort of like excitement and joy and playfulness when they think about you in an emotional way. Let's pull some more cards. I want to get some more answers about this. I feel like we're pulling some very strong answers right away. So let's see what else we have. What else we have when we're asking about this. So we're asking about what's going on with their head. I'm going to pull 4 cards. and finding out what's going on with them, what's going on in their thought space and their head space. And then let's also pull 4 cards for their heart. I'm going to flip them all over at the same time so we can take a look at the full story, the full picture, get lots of good, juicy information. And we'll talk about that for a second. And we're going into their heart space. Yeah. You know, I'm feeling this card that's right behind that card. Yep. Yep, a little reluctant card there. Okay, so we've got some answers coming. Let's see what we've got. So first of all, we're taking a look at their headspace. Oh boy, 3 of Swords. We've got the 10 of Swords. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the 4 of Cups. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So many answers coming in. Let's take a look at their heart space. So we have the Fool. We have the 7 of Cups, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Swords. 2 extremely different things are going on with this person. And I would love to hear about how you feel about that. Are you feeling that? Do you feel this rift between their head and their heart, their thoughts and their feelings? They've got a lot of really different things at play here. And I imagine you must feel like a little ping pong ball when you're with this person, that there's got to be some feelings of running hot and cold, feeling like, yes, this could be, no, this couldn't be, yes, this is, no, this isn't. First of all, they've got a lot going on in their head, their mind and their thoughts, and Swords get into thought space. Now, we also have some sword space over here in the heart space too, in the feelings. So getting into this space, I am feeling very much that there's past heartbreak here. This 3 of Swords is telling us that there's probably some really intense damage that's happened that really knocked them out. I mean, the 10 of Swords is a card of completion, as our 10s always are. The Swords, again, getting into the thought space, head space. This is like really being completely laid out by something. There is something that really, really took them on, and they have not recovered from it yet. And I don't think that this is all just directed towards you. I feel like that there is something just really jostling around them. This could have to do with you. If this person is somebody from the past, this person is somebody that you've been through something with, they're not over whatever happened with you, if that's the case. If this is someone that you want to be getting something moving forward with, or you're in a relationship with, they're very much still hurt from the past. There is very much still this residue of pain and heartbreak. And they haven't come back to life yet. They haven't opened up yet. Now, I mean, coming over here into this, 4 of Cups space, not only have they not come back to life yet, but they're like actively sort of shutting it down. The Cups getting into those feelings and emotions. This card is very much a no card. It's like, hey, I'm offering up this heart space, this feelings, these things for you. And their head is like, no, nah, don't have room for that. Can't handle that damage. Can't handle anymore. Don't want the feelings, don't want the emotions. I imagine this person feels very closed off, very unable to share in their thoughts, in their heart space, and there's just like a wall that comes down for this person that just feels impenetrable and very hard to get past, because this feels very fresh. It feels very real. It feels very potent and poignant. Now, we also have the High Priestess over here, and that is telling me that they also, intellectually, they know you are this sort of majestic goddess. You've got these mystical feelings about you. You have this wisdom. You're smart. You're savvy. You see the dark and the light. And you live in a space that's really taking it all in, this very wise space. There is something about you that they're in awe of, that they find really precious in a very spiritual way and a very reverential way. There is something about you that's mystical and magical, which makes sense. Let's continue on getting back into their heart space. So while their head space is like telling you all of this and communicating all of this, whether they're doing it with words or they're just doing it with their feelings and their facial expressions and whatever's coming actually through, or what's going on beyond where you can even get to them at all if you're not in a speaking space, Their heart space, I mean, is going through this whole other adventure. Their heart space and their feelings are kind of really being pulled. Their heartstrings are being pulled. They're being called on. They're being called on to open themselves up. They get this feeling like maybe this could be it. Maybe I could open myself up to this. Maybe this could be the thing. Maybe I could be brave and I could step out and open my arms to this and play the fool, whether it's good or bad, no matter what happens, even if the heartbreak comes for me again. Maybe I can be in that space. Maybe I can be that open because things are fun and joyful. And we're getting back into the cup space here. So it does feel like there's even in their heart space, there's this like back and forth of good versus bad, of sort of imagining the good things that could happen, the bad things that could happen, the pain and the happiness, going back and forth, seeing and visualizing and really being swung on their emotions back and forth still with all of this. Now, we also have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Page of Swords. So there's a part of them that desperately just wants to lean in and be grounded. I'm feeling a very non-showing up energy over here. And this is a very showing up energy, this Knight of Pentacles energy. It's very consistent. It's very regular. It's very steady. It's very strong. It's got a divine masculine presence to it. And there must be moments where you can feel that this person wants to provide for you, take care of you, invite you in, protect you, make you the person that is an everyday, regular, showing up for you kind of person with a consistency, a regularity, forever kind of thing. And then we also have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords gets into these sort of youthful messenger cards, and this is like that inspiration of truth, this inspiration of understanding these messages that are coming in. And I feel like they have these moments where you probably don't even get clued into this, maybe, where it feels like kismet. It feels fated. It feels like they have these little divine revelations of like, wow, that thing that that they take in about you, something that's happening in your world, feels like in such divine alignment with them, and feels like it's meant to be in ways, and that these little inspirations and truths are just keep popping in for them. Woof. Oh boy, oh boy, oh. I'd like to know, first of all, in their head, if there's any space, I would just like to know sort of the trajectory of this heartbreak and this pain. What's going to shift here? Can anything shift here? Is there potential for this to move? This feels like a lot of work. This feels like this person has a lot of work to do before they would be ready to be truly open and available to all the good things that they could bring to the table and they could have. And it feels very sticky to me. So I would just like to know, sort of like, is this even worth your time, sort of, because of this space that they're in? What is their trajectory looking like? What does that mean in relation to you in their headspace? And we have the Five of Wands, which is a very combative card, a lot of chaos. It's not focused. It's not singular. It's not unwinding itself quickly. There's going to be some little sparks of destruction here. So I think this could be a very challenging and difficult person to actually start something with. I can't imagine that they would let you get there at all, that it would be very hard to get to the place where you're able to move something forward. But I would like one more card pull just for their headspace, just about anything romantically that we need to know, if there's potential for you in their head, if they could clear anything enough for you to move forward in the near future. And we have the Moon, and the Moon is telling us of secrets. There are things you don't know about. There are hidden truths. There are things that you are not privy to that are going on for them that are going to make it very difficult for you to move forward with this person. And of course, always follow your own intuition about what you think is best. But it does feel like this could be very difficult to see through in any real way, because there's also, you don't know the full game. You don't understand fully what this person is contending with. There's something really heartbreaking going on for them, and there's something really deep and ingrained that's going to be very, very difficult for them to let go of and get out of the fray and get out of the chaos in order to be able to move forward. The secrets would have to really be shared, and the full truth would have to be known to you. Let's find out a little more about their heart space. So in their heart space, if we have these little like pullings of something good, what could that heart space outcome be for the two of you? Oh, we have the Five of Wands again. I love it when our cards give us some real clarity. It's really, really nice. And I like to thank any guides, any divine oversight for giving us these very clear messages. These are two separate decks, so we can pull duplicate cards. It is really beautiful when we pull them in a way that gives us like a very clear answer. And obviously these are lining up. Five of Wands right here. This is going to be hard. This is going to be difficult. They've got that chaos. They've got that friction. They've got that fray. It's just very hard to get into it. It would be a battle. It would be very difficult. It would be feeling like you're running in place a lot of the time. It would feel like you're fighting against yourself. It would feel like you're fighting against them and all of what their intuition tells them to do or what they're doing. It would be just sort of like a constant uphill battle, a very difficult space to be in. It would be very difficult for you to think clearly, to move forward in any other way. It would just be very all-consuming in this chaotic sort of way. And I just want to pull one other card for them. Just if there's anything else we need to know about, anything else at all, anything else that we need to know about. So we have the Two of Wands reversed. And the Two of Wands tells us, have strength, have courage, go out, go into the world. There's something about them that's stuck right now. They can't go out. They can't explore. They can't get beyond themselves. They're stuck in their own world. They're stuck in their own head. They're stuck in their own thoughts. It's they're stuck without the bravery, without the strength to move forward. They're just in a stuck space right now. And that's really on them and up to them to move themselves forward. And until they do that, it really would just be like running in place. It would be very difficult to move anything forward. So I would say, really, let's pull some cards for you. Let's pull some cards for you. So I kind of do want to like step outside of this person a little bit, just because this is such a tricky situation. Okay, let's pull one card for this person so that we can get some clarity on you. How would you feel if this were moving forward? What would we need to know about you moving forward here? What would we need to know about you moving forward here? The Three of Wands, and that really gets into, you can see how closely that is related. You would really be taking a step back and you would be seeing from like an overview of what's going on. You would really be, you'd really be looking at this as an outsider. You'd be looking at this person as an outsider. You'd be seeing things and understanding pieces of what's happening to them, but unable to really be in it, to really affect a difference, to really, that closeness wouldn't be there. It wouldn't be yummy and good and full of soulmateship. The feeling of the lovers are two people standing naked in front of each other, fully exposed. And this is, sort of seeing everything from this bird's eye advantage, but not really being able to do much about it. Let's continue on for you. So I would like to ask some questions about you. So first of all, I want to know about what you should be doing right now in this moment. What should you be doing to affect love, to affect change, to move forward on your path? What do you need to know about you? And we have the Fool. So that energy that pops up from their heart space, that is an energy that you can step into and that you should step into, but not necessarily with them. And I would say really hesitatingly, with them. I would not be stepping in with them if I were looking at this just from the cards, that that it feels a little bit like a dead end here. Or at least like a very hard road until something really changed with them and they did their homework and they figured themselves out. For you right now, the best thing you can do is be open. Open your arms, play the fool, start a new journey. This is the time, this is the moment. Open your arms and be okay not knowing what is coming in the future. Be okay not knowing who's it going to be, where's it going to be, what's going to happen. But know that you're going to be okay no matter what, even if you fall, even if you get hurt, even if you have this little spirit guide at your side. You are under the sun. You've got good things coming for you, and that openness can take you very far indeed. This is where you're starting off, is just to be open. Let yourself clear out the expectation and be open to what could be coming in. If you're in a seated position right now, or any position, just turn your hands into an open receiving position. If you want to accept that you are accepting the openness, you're ready to receive, you're ready for goodness to come into your life, your desires, what you want for yourself. Now, I would like to ask about any blocks that you may have from attaining what you desire, what you want for yourself. What kind of blocks could be coming up for you? We have the Wheel of Fortune. So it could feel like you are having some bad luck. It could feel like things just aren't working out, like it is not happening. You could feel like, wow, that bad thing happens, and this bad thing happens, and this bad thing happens. And I think you're not seeing all the signs of all the good things that are happening to you. So I do want you to turn around and take a look around you and see, like, whoa, look at those blessings, and look at these blessings, and look at that. And just see how much your life is being filled with. So the universe can supply you with more and more of that. Bring more and more of that in. And feeling like bad things are happening is a block, because we start to look for bad things to happen. We start to anticipate bad things happening. We create bad things happening by expecting bad things to happen, by thinking we have bad luck. So you're going to have to let that go and embrace all of the good things around you in order to cultivate and create more of that. And I would like to ask about blocks again for you. If there's anything else you need to know about blocks for you receiving what you truly desire. Page of Wands is coming through. So you might not be, and we're back in our pages, we're back in our messenger cards. We're into the wands, passion, purpose, all this lit up energy. You might not be receiving some divine information that's coming to you. You might be getting messages about something, and it might be like knock, knock, knock on the door, and you're like, nope, not interested. I don't want to see who it is. I don't want to open that door. I don't want to read that letter. I don't want to read that note, even though what's in there is going to take you to a much better place, to the place that you want to be. So I want you to really look out for what is around you, what is coming in, be very observant. Cue yourself in, listen carefully. Listen carefully to the universe. And if you don't know what those messages are, if they are just, you're like, I have no idea, just more bad luck, then I want you, before you to go to bed, I want you to ask your subconscious. I want you to say, hey, I have no idea what messages have been coming in. I would like clarity on what messages have been coming in. I want you to keep a notebook by your bed or in bed with you so you can write stuff down as soon as you wake up and you remember to do that. And I would like you to do that for a few nights in a row. I would like for a few nights in a row, you to write down anything you think of as you wake up that comes in as a divine message of what you should be doing, of how you should be following your intuition, what guidance has been coming in that maybe you've been ignoring. And now I just want to ask about the future of your heart right now. Where is your heart guiding you right now? Where's the universe guiding you right now? What do we need to look for? What do we need to know about this in your sort of immediate energy, in your immediate future? Oh boy, we've got more pages, and we've got the Page of Swords here. So it makes sense that you have felt something about this person. You have some alignments with this person. You have some energetic alignments with this person. So good inspiration is coming for you, an incredible amount of clarity. As you ask for these messages are going to come in, and they're going to give you insights and truth and really good, valuable information. And you're going to feel inspired, and you're going to feel like, oh, I understand. I know I know what to do. I know where to go. I know how my heart should be moving right now. And this really is going to come back to tapping right back into your own inner knowing, or the messages that are coming in from the divine that you've just been sort of pushing away or misplacing. You're going to have the clarity. So it's kind of a non-answer answer, that you don't get that piece of information at this moment in this reading, but you can if you tune in, if you tap in, because it is already there for you. It's not some faraway fairy tale. It's here. And everything you need to know about that, all the answers for that, they're already here. They're already ready to guide you. If you want to take a deeper dive on anything, there's a link below to do that. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now, claim this, but also subscribe so you get more wonderful readings like this coming straight to you. And I would also love for us, I would love for us to go ahead. Let's drop the little prayer hands below as just saying, like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the blessings that are here. Even if I feel unlucky sometimes, even if I feel like I acknowledge all the goodness that is in my life. And we're starting that, breaking down that block right now. Let's start clearing that out now. Leave me comments. You know I read them all. I'm sending you so much love and so much light until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card 3. Land. Arrive. Okay. So we're getting into this. Their thoughts and their feelings about you. Their head versus their heart. And we have 2 separate decks at play here. So we have the black deck, which is their head. The gold deck, which is their heart. These are separate decks. They can be duplicate cards. I also have a pink deck coming in a little bit later for information for you. And again, it's a totally separate deck, so we could pull duplicate cards. So let's get started with these anchor cards. Let's see. Oh, this is so interesting already. Oh my goodness. So we have pulled duplicate cards, but our 10 of Cups is reversed here for their heart. We have the 10 of Cups for their head. We have the 10 of Cups for their heart reversed. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh my. So 10s are cards of completion. This is a beautiful card to pull. This is an openness. This is a, like, let's create family, whether that's like having a family or pulling family together, any kind of way, getting a dog or whatever is right for you, but that kind of homey warmth, that openness, that freedom to be who you are, to be together, the togetherness. They're under a rainbow. It's beautiful. It's happy. Good things are coming in. This is, I kind of sometimes say it's like a happily ever after card. It feels like, you're riding into the sunset kind of feeling. It feels so warm and cozy and wonderful. And our cups get into feelings and emotions. This is a wonderful place to start, but it's so interesting to start in such an interesting spot, because there is an accordance for them in their head and their heart, but there's also a denial in their feelings and emotions. So on paper, they know you guys could align really well. You guys could really be it. You could be happy ever after. You could be, this is the end of the road. This is my soulmate. This is my space. But their heart is feeling those things, but they're denying those things. They're shutting them down. They're not accepting and acknowledging what's coming in the emotions that they're feeling. There's a real sort of cutoff for them where they're just not leaning into it. And I'm guessing that you probably feel that they really have a stopping point where they just don't, they just don't want to move forward emotionally. I want to find out more about this, and I want to find out why that's happening. So first I want to go ahead, I'm going to pull 4 cards for their feelings and emotions, their heart space. And then we're going to pull 4 for their head space. We're going to do that all at the same time. I'm going to flip all of these cards over at the same time. So we can get a really clear picture and a bigger story and figure out what's going on. What's happening here? What is happening here? And we can ask some specific questions as we go too. If we might get some answers that don't give us the full answer that we want. So let's go ahead and take a look at their headspace as well. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we've got. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Okay, I'm so interested to pull these over. So I want to start with their heart space because I'm just so interested. We have the Emperor, we have the Star, we have the Five of Swords, and we have the Moon. And then getting into their head space, we have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, so interesting. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed. I'm sorry, we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. We have the Hanged Man, and we have the Eight of Swords. Okay, we're getting some mixed messages. So let's see what we've got. And I'm guessing you're feeling some mixed messages. Okay, let's start in their heart space because that is what I'm the most interested in based off of our anchor cards. So there is a part of them that really wants to control their emotions. The Emperor can be very controlling, can be very disciplined, can need a lot of acknowledgement for their trophies and their victories and their, kind of a very powerful card, a very, powerful space, but also very demanding in certain ways and can be needy and need a lot. And I feel like maybe they're really trying to control the flow of everything that is happening with their feelings and their emotions. That, things are coming in, and they're like, I need to control this and make sure that this is exactly the way that I want it to be. And I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know what the reasoning is for that, but there's this piece of control that's really coming up into play here. And maybe they felt out of control in previous circumstances. Now we do know that there has been some hurt here. The Five of Swords over here is, it's kind of a cruel card. And the swords get into headspace and thought space, but we are all staying in feelings and emotions because that's what we're asking about. Somebody really sliced them. Somebody who took something from them and it really hurt them. And I feel like there's a protection mechanism where they don't want that to happen again. And they want to control the environment. They want to control the situation. They want to control their feelings and their emotions. They want to control everything that's going on because they've been hurt, because it's been really devastating and it was cold and it kind of ripped something away from them. But also, the Star is over here, and the Star tells me that even if you're feeling the block here in their emotions, which you probably are, even if you're feeling the block, you must also feel how that they hold you in this kind of awe. You have this openness about you. I mean, the Star is censored here for YouTube. We've got a little outfit for her, but she's completely naked. She's extremely open. She's pouring 2 jugs of water. She's giving. She is emotions. She is flowing. She is really just very open, very real, very true to who she is. There's something about you that is, it's amazing. It's vulnerable in a way that they can't be right now, that they've, been hurt and they're using all this control to try to keep any hurt from happening again. And this part of you is like, it's like mystical for them. It's like, how does that even happen in a person? How does a person get to be so exposed, so open to being hurt or to danger, or to that you really have this soft, divine feminine essence that's exposed and showing, and that you trust them and you trust the world around you enough to do that, and you trust yourself enough to do that. And I think that's like a big, I want to say question mark for them, but if you know what I mean, like that they're like, how I don't understand how to do that. I don't understand how you can be that way, because it's so foreign to them. It's so apart from where they are right now, and their nature and their sort of closedness. Now we also have the Moon here, which gets into those secrets. It gets into the hidden truth. It gets into things being hidden. And it does get into intuition too. So I do feel like they have this side of themselves that is pretty intuitive. But there's also this part of them that is hiding things, that's keeping things from you. Again, for their heart space, again, to like keep their heart from being hurt, to keep them from, having this kind of slicing activity happening again, to try to keep everything in control, to control the information that you get to know about them, to control the information that the vulnerabilities that you get to see. So instead, they just hide it away. Now, I want to take a look at their headspace. And getting into their headspace, we have the Nine of Cups, which they have this feeling like, I get this feeling, they have this feeling that they would be a great partner. And this taps in a little bit to this Emperor energy too, this feeling like, I am great at this. I am great at what I do. Look at all of my accomplishments. Look at how good I am at doing things. Where they kind of hide the vulnerabilities that have hurt them before. They hide the things you don't want to see, and they sort of, demand you to see what they want you to see. And I think they have this feeling like, this thought feeling, this headspace feeling of like, oh, well, I am great with emotions. I'm a great emotional communicator. I'm great at being in love. I'm great at sharing things with my partner. Even though they're not, they're not doing those things. It feels like they think they are, which is tricky. It feels like they think that they're amazing at it, and that they're open and they're sharing and they have all these feelings. And I don't think they are. They are sort of manipulating things to keep control of things and keep some things hidden, and, in order to maintain control, which is not that. It is not being open and having everything available to them, because they're not letting everything be available. So they're kind of deceiving themselves a little bit here. Okay, now with our pentacles, so the pentacles can get into worldly goods, and I am feeling like this could have to do with worldly goods and financial things, and even, like acts of service, or the love languages that get into like physical touch and things like that, where they're not great at giving and receiving. And this is something they know they're not great at. They're not great at really at giving and receiving. There's something that really they stumble over, and they have blocks over, and they get really caught up on, and that keeps them from being able to be a true giver and to be able to truly receive as well. So there's something that's really sort of holding them up here, and that they're not fully, sort of able to be in that space. We also have the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man in an intellectual space, this is sort of telling me that there's a part of them that's telling their heart on an intellectual level and their head, hey, just wait, give it a minute. Just see what happens, see how things go. You don't have to rush in. You don't have to, jump into something. You don't have to make a rash decision. Just wait and see how things play out. But also a part of them that's trying to tap into their intuition. The Hanged Man is a very intuitive card. I don't know that I feel like they are following their intuition or have like a really great give and take with that relationship with themselves. But I do think they're trying to. I do think they're trying to like follow your instincts, see how things go, take it moment by moment, get a new perspective, sort of trying to play some intellectual games with the whole thing. And again, I still think this is them trying to stay in control of everything. Okay, now we also have the Eight of Swords. Again, our swords getting into that thought space, mental space, which is where we are. And this is this kind of trapped space, this sort of prisoner to oneself and to possibly one's circumstances, but it's a false prisonhood because this figure could get out of these binds at any time. And I don't feel like I'm reading this about you or that this is the way they perceive you. I'm feeling that this is something they are sort of struggling with themselves, that they could be doing so much more. They could be, this gets into that like could, should, would game, where they're like, oh, I should be doing this, and I should be doing that, and I should be moving along into this place of, I should be getting into something that's bigger, and I should be moving forward in this area. But they're not actually doing the things to do it. They're not actually doing the things to release themselves from this prison of their thoughts. And they're not actually doing the things that they would need to do to really really release control, because that's really what this comes down to, is really letting things actually happen and be a bit out of control. Just be vulnerable and real. Let go of the hiding of anything. That's not where that has to end up. That's not where the feelings of being super intimate with someone else lie. So they're having a tricky little time really being open with you, really being in a giving and receiving position with you, being in a space where they can really turn this and move it forward. But obviously you have a ton of potential, and they recognize that as well. So wherever you are with this, whether this is a person from the past, you're talking to them, you're not talking to them, it's somebody you like, it's somebody that you're actively seeing, whatever this is, they understand the potential that you guys have. And they understand it on an intellectual level. They also do very much understand it on a heart level, but they haven't leaned into it on a heart level. And this might be very hard for them to get to that space. I would like to ask the cards what we need to know about what they'd have to do to get to the space, to really open up, to release control, to share the secrets, to be vulnerable, to be open, to be seen. Yeah, they'd have to, okay, so this person does have a very strong inner system. They have a very strong thought process. They understand the truth very clearly when they let themselves. When they get down to like brass tacks, when you're getting to the inner workings of this person and you're like, what kind of person is this though? What kind of person would I end up with though? It is a good person to be with. This could be a very, very strong pairing. And if they can sit into the deep divine masculine essence of themselves, and they can pick up that sword for themselves and understand their truth and their clarity, and tell you the truth and tell you their clarity and communicate and be open, this could crack everything open for you. This is a lot that we're asking them to do, however, which is tricky. So actually, my next question, I do want to ask some more questions about their headspace, but I would like to next ask a question for you about what you need to know about what you could do to help them get to that space. Is there anything that you could do to help move this into the space where you could move all this forward and they could release that control and open themselves up? Is there anything that you could really take, a step into? Ooh, all right, okay. Yeah, so we have the Eight of Wands. I love to take a look at the 8 and the 8. The Wands, this is a wonderful card. The Wands are a fiery card, passion, purpose, moving forward. This is a very fast moving card. It's a great card in a love reading, but this card is saying, hey, lean in, let me take over, from the universe. This is saying like, hey, you don't have to do anything here. This isn't you needing to fix things. You don't need to take away their control. You don't need to push them to expose their secrets. You don't have to force them to be different or move forward faster. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is lean in to let this happen. You just lean into the energy. You follow your intuition. This is one of those, attract. Just let it come to you. You don't have to strong arm anything here. This is going to be a nice, fast moving energy for you if you just let the ride happen. So I would be careful about your maybe even feeling like you have to take control, because of course they have that controlling energy, and probably that you want to pick up on that a little bit and you want to start controlling things too. Okay, so now I do also want to know for you about any blocks that you have. Is there any block that you have that could keep this from moving forward, leaning into it, letting it happen. Is there anything we need to know about for you? So it looks like there's a decision you need to make. So I haven't gotten too much into your energy, except how like open and exposed you are. But there is something that you've been back and forth with. The Two of Swords is someone who's choosing not to make a decision. This is, being in that waiting space of like, hey, I can't choose. I can't decide. And this is a reminder as well that if you do not decide, the universe will decide for you. Circumstance will decide for you. Other things at play will come in and decide for you. There will still be movement. A choice will still be made. Not choosing is still a decision. So whatever it is that you need to really make a choice on, whatever it is that you are holding in two hands, and you're like this or that, it's time to really let yourself focus on that, because that's going to block you from really moving forward or leaning in. Because how do you lean in and just let the current take you when all of your energy is, sort of bound up in two different spaces? I want to ask one more question for you. I'm going to ask a couple more questions for you, but I do want to ask another question about their headspace. So I would also like to know if there's a step that you can take, any kind of action step that you can take about making this choice and this decision that can help you move forward here. And the cards are telling us that taking a rest, the Four of Swords, let your mind rest. To help you move forward, to help you make that choice, to help you make that decision. Again, this is kind of like that thing of non-doing. Take a rest. Take some time to take a break. Take a break from holding both of those swords. You don't have to hold both options. You don't have to hold both. Let yourself do something completely different. Take a vacation. Take a rest day. Go to the spa. Get yourself in a space where you can completely regenerate and relax. Get to that space where you can regenerate and relax. Now, I do want to ask another question about their headspace. So I do want to ask if there's about them moving forward here, about them moving forward in the same way that we asked about their heart space, about them getting to that space. Can they get to that space? Is that something that they're headed towards right now? What do the cards need to tell us about that energy, about them moving forward? Hi, Queen of Wands. I love this. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the King of Swords. So for them moving forward, they need to be in their seat of power, and you need to be in your seat of power. And that's that energetic shift for them. And look how different this is than, holding these two swords and not making a choice and being blindfolded. This is such a power position. The Queen of Swords is optimistic. She moves forward. She's got action. She's got a determination and a drive. No obstacles getting in the way. Again, this is that passion, purpose, energy. It is fiery. It's lit up. It's growth oriented. There are a lot of yummy, joyful, good things. This is a very powerful card. And you need to be in your seat of power as well. In order for this to move forward, you both have to be in your seat of power. And the easiest way for you to move things forward from your powerful position is to do what you can do. Is remove this block, make this choice, take the rest that you need in order to make this choice, and sit into your seat of power. And that's going to get into their headspace to help them unlock a whole bunch of little locks that are going on. Okay, now I would like a little card about you getting into that Queen of Wands powerhouse. If there's anything we need to know about you stepping into that, there's any wisdom or guidance here for that. Let it grow. Let it grow. Things have been planted. Things have been planted, and you need to have the patience to let it grow for you. Trust the seeds. Trust the seeds that have been planted for you. Trust what has been put in the earth for you, and trust that a harvest is coming. And also, really evaluate if the harvest that's coming for you, have you been planting all the right seeds? Is there anything else that you need to plant so that it can harvest instead? Really know what it is that you desire and that you want and what you crave. And now I just want to pull one last card for the two of you. So I'm actually going to do this a little bit differently. the other two readings so far. So I'd like to go ahead and just, I feel like there's a lot of potential here and there's a lot of alignment going on here. So I'd like to just pull a card from both of you to see about this moving forward and what we can take a look at. Hi, so we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Three of Swords. So moving into this, we have the potential for being in a seat of extreme clarity and knowing and truth seeing. We also have the potential to be in a place that is painful, that is hard, that is difficult. And this could tell us that this secret might not be okay with you. Whatever is being hidden, that might be a deal breaker. It could be really important for you to know. If you want to do a deep dive on that, there's a link below so that you can do that. So that sort of says, you know, like as you're moving forward, the outcome, it could be a space that they do end up getting hurt in again because they, you know, weren't able to be open and that new openness isn't okay. However, and you would be in a very deep seat of knowing in that space. However, you know, this also could be an indication that, yes, there could be hurt, but the hurt could also be part of the healing, that you can heal together, and just exposing what's happened before, all of that could be the hurt. And that it could be hurt to have somebody see their vulnerabilities and their weaknesses. And that doesn't mean that it would end that way. This could still be a soulmate ship. This feels very strong. So I would, you know, let your own intuition guide you right now. I would like to let's drop a little cat for our Queen of Wands cat down here. Let's drop a cat emoji. Also, if you have not subscribed, if you feel like you're very connected to this, go ahead and subscribe now. I would love for you to do that so you keep getting more readings like this. And I also would love comments. I love hearing how you feel about this, what you're taking in. How does this feel to you? And I read all the comments, so I would really love to hear. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card for Land and Arrive. Let's get started. We're taking a look at their thoughts and their feelings about you, their head versus their heart. So with our anchor cards, the black deck is going to be their head, the gold deck is going to be their heart. These are two separate decks. We have the possibility of pulling duplicates. We're going to be pulling some more cards from the black deck and more cards from the gold deck. We also have a third deck. I'm also going to be pulling from the pink deck for you, for what you need to know. But let's get started right now here with them. All right, so we have their head versus their heart. Oh, we have the King of Cups and we have the Eight of Wands. This is very powerful and positive. The King of Cups is a very emotional card. Their head is in a space that is full of divine masculine energy that is ready to listen, accept, express, be emotional, be available, be in a space where they want to give and they want to receive, and they're really in touch with their knowing, their inner knowing, their deep inner knowing of what they want for themselves in their life and what they want romantically to fill up their heart and how do they want to love. And the Eight of Wands, very fiery card. This is a wonderful card to pull in the love reading. This is a very fast moving card, very fiery, full of growth energy, moving forward, moving fast, and it is an easy flow. This is like a lean in card. Lean in and let the current take you. This is strong stuff that's coming in now. So let's see what cards we have to support with. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first deck. We're gonna pull 4 cards for this, for their head, and then we're gonna pull 4 cards for their heart. We're gonna look at them all at the same time so we can get a clearer picture, a bigger picture of what's going on, what we need to know. Let's go ahead and pull 4 for our gold deck as well. And yeah, their heart. Okay, getting into some heart space. Yes. All right, let's see what we've got. What we've got going on. All right, so we're starting over here. We have the Two of Wands, more of that Wands energy. We have the Hermit. We have the Three of Swords, and we have the Knight of Swords. So this is staying in their headspace. Now let's take a look at this heart space. We have the Tower. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Wands again. I love getting duplicate cards. It really is so helpful to clarify things that are copacetic, that are coming together, that are aligned, that are synchronistic. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at that Two of Wands. We have that in both of these poles. So both in their head and their heart, they are courageous. They are brave. They are ready to dive in. They're ready to travel. They're ready to, and this doesn't mean that it has to be like world travel or like take off across the world, but they're ready to like move forward into their life. An adventurous sort of feeling is with them, where they're, this is fire energy. Again, staying with those wands, this is that fire energy. There's a lot of growth energy here too. We have these little buds that are popping up off the wands, but passion, purpose, drive, it's really pushing them forward. They're in a space where they're ready to step in. They're ready to jump off. They're ready to start something new and to launch into an adventure, both in their head and in their heart. So they're really coming into this space in a strong way. Now, let's go ahead and start over in their headspace. There is a bit of them that is pulling back into this hermit space. And this may be from habit, that they've been in a space where they've pulled back into themselves, maybe after, a healing from something else. Maybe they've just been in a contemplation space. The outside world was getting to be too much, and they sort of pulled into this little space where they can see things more clearly. They can shine a light on their own interior world and see what's really going on. So they have been in a kind of lonesome space where they haven't been inviting other people in. They've been doing a lot of self-reflecting, looking at what they need to see, looking at their own introspection. So they have been in this space of, little distance. They've been a little distant from the world. And it does feel like that could be coming from a heartbreak space, that they've really come from a space where they've been hurt, they've been in some heartbreak. Maybe they're even worried about some heartbreak as you're sort of on their mind. They get that worry about their heart being hurt again. But that's definitely something that's not fully healed for them, and that still sort of regurgitates itself into their mind and into their head. And the swords get into that air space, that thought space, that intellectual space. Now we also have the Knight of Swords here. So there's also like a really intense clarity that's coming to them. And, they have been spending a lot of time looking for clarity and looking for answers. And it's getting them to this space where they can speed forward into the future. And there's a part of them and the part of their mind that wants to just run into this and say, like, this is the truth of where I am, and this is the truth of what we can do and who we can be and how we can move forward together. And there's something that feels a little bit reckless in that, and a little bit like headstrong, and but just this really intense inner truth, this inner knowing, this inner clarity that makes them want to kind of rush forward into something with you. So there's a couple of little pieces at play here where there is some like go, yes, but also a tiny bit of like, okay, but I have, we have come from this space and I have been pulled back from people. So also a little bit of that hesitation space too. It's not full and complete, just like rapids taking you forward. Now in their heart space, there has been a huge change. And this is very interesting. I would be curious to know what kind of relationship you guys have. If it is something where you used to be something, if this is somebody from the past, if this is someone from the current space that you're talking to or that you're interested in, or someone where, maybe communication's even been cut off, or something that you feel strongly about. It's very interesting because it looks like there was a really big change in their heart space. Or, the Tower really just, it's like that fiery change. Something's burning down, huge, big change. And that can get into things that are very uncomfortable. So it's possible that you guys have come from a space that was very uncomfortable and made a huge change of heart. And I would be very curious to know that. This is telling me that there's something that's really evolved for them and something that's really changed for them. And this could be something that changed for them outside of you. This could be a huge change that they've gone through right before you've met. There's something that was a real like, oh, this is changing everything. This is really burning some stuff down and bringing a whole new game. Now, getting back into their heart space, we have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles tells me that they're in a space where they're really wanting to be in a give and take with you, where they really want to have an even distribution of giving and receiving. They want to be generous with themselves. They want to, and I don't just mean this in a financial way, although the Pentacles do get into like finances and worldly goods, but I really feel like, presence and time, and I mean like a personal presence, not like presence, but it could be that too. I mean, that really does get into Pentacles territory as well. But there's something where they really want to share with you. They want to share with you. They want to receive. They want to be in both positions. They want it to be on equal footing where you both have the same amount of feeling for each other and you're both giving the same amount to the relationship, that you're both putting the same things in, that you're getting the same things out, that they really want there to be a balance. They want this balance to exist between the two of you. We also have the Nine of Cups, which tells me that there is a part of them that feels like they can absolutely have that with you. You might be putting out some vibes that you're like, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm into it. I've got a lot of feelings and emotions. And they're feeling like, yeah, I've got it all. I've got all of this here. And they're feeling a little bit like, the big rooster kind of, like, hey, look at all these feelings and emotions. I am so lucky. I've got all of this from this person. I can feel all of this coming in. So I think they really feel like sort of an abundance of feeling and emotion coming in from your side. And then we have that Two of Wands. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards. So let's start with some cards from their headspace. So I would like to know if there's anything holding them back. And we have a lot of green light here. So this feels strong and good. So I'd like to know if there's anything holding them back. Is there anything we need to know about? Anything that's blocking their path? We've got the Eight of Wands. So we're pulling the Eight of Wands as a block here. So it's so interesting that this pops up as a block from the headspace in, counteracting, this sort of same momentum and this same lean in energy from their heart space. So in their headspace is having a little bit of a hard time with that, like lean in and let it flow. Just let the rapids pick you up. Let this be fast and easy. So there's a part of their headspace that's like, maybe this needs to be more difficult. Maybe it needs to be more of a struggle to feel like there's a real payoff here. Maybe it needs to feel harder to win. Maybe they need to feel like they're overcoming something in getting you and getting your affections. But there's some sort of, there's something satiating about that their headspace is putting up like a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to just flow here. I don't know if I want to just let this all happen and happen so fast. I would like to know also from their headspace where they're going. Like, what is the trajectory of them right now? Are they headed toward a space where they are going to like move this forward? Are they going to up level this? Are they interested in taking this all the way? What are they interested in? So it looks like they're interested in learning more. The Hierophant really gets into wisdom, knowledge, seeking out guidance. This can be in a spiritual way. This can also be societal norms. So there's a part of them that wants to either, follow the normal social structure of, whatever their social structure is, that like this is what the people in their friend circle are doing and they want to do it too. This is, but there's a part of them that's seeking, that wants to understand, that wants to gain wisdom, that wants to know more. And that's pretty interesting. Let's look into their heart space as well. So I'd like to look into their heart space for any blocks that could keep this from moving forward, that could keep this from, and really this is on their end, keep them from moving forward. We have the Three of Wands. And it's possible they might feel like they haven't accomplished enough. And I do feel like that kind of brings back to our Eight of Wands energy. A lot of Wands energy going on, right? So there's a part of them also that might not feel like I've done enough, I've accomplished enough, I've become the person and gotten the achievements. You know, we're asking about this specifically in a block sense, that there's something where when they're looking at the overview of things, it might not feel like enough. It might not feel like, oh, I want to see my I haven't accomplished what I want to accomplish. I haven't done what I want to do. I haven't, traversed everything that I want to traverse, which is interesting. And I would like to see in their near energy what this looks like moving forward right now for them. What is their sort of next spacing? Oh, and we got the Knight of Cups, High King of Cups. So their heart space, moving into a space where perhaps they make you some sort of offer. If this is somebody that cut off communication or something, this would be sort of them, walking their way back into your life, offering up some feeling and emotion, some heart space, sort of walking in and trying to move things along. If this is someone that, like you're just trying to move things along with, then it feels like they're going to be doing that on their own. That's sort of in their near future space of just walking in and opening up their heart and being in those feelings, and also really presenting that to you and wanting to know about your feelings and wanting to have that give and take, that receiving and giving. Now I want to look at you. So I would like to take a look at your energy. So first of all, for your energy, I would like to know, first of all, about you and this person. Is there anything that we need to know, that your guides want you to know about you and this person? And Temperance comes in. So Temperance is all about balance, and balance doesn't have to be the thing. You can be really imbalanced, and that can be wonderful in certain moments. This is sort of telling us that you will want to be kind of balanced with this. That you will want to make sure that things aren't just deep diving in any sort of way. That it's not just, like jumping off a cliff. Or this is where you sort of like, okay, I'm going to take this one step at a time. And I'm going to make sure we take a balanced approach to whatever might happen here. And that I don't just dive straight away. And that could be, this card could be coming up because, it's giving us the suggestion that perhaps they want a little more struggle. Perhaps they want that. Perhaps they need a little bit more of it, to be not a full, easy flow, that they might need something like that. But regardless, it's saying, be a little more, make sure you keep your balance. Keep your balance in all of this. Okay, now I'd like to know about you and any blocks that you might have. What blocks might be coming up for you right now? The Three of Pentacles is coming up, and the Three of Pentacles is kind of a planning architectural card. This is getting back into the Pentacles, which could be, finances, that could be worldly goods, that could be your health, that could be your body. There is something here about perhaps something that you need to plan, that you need to plan. You need to have a structure around it, but you've not done that, and you've decided not to do that for the time being. So that's something I would really look into. I would really look into letting the plan happen, letting yourself have the time to have the plan, making a plan, seeking out advice, seeking out guidance for what you want to build in your life, in order to have the relationship that you want, but also just in order to have the life that you want and the life that you desire. Seek out the wisdom of others, people who are very wise, who are very, perhaps even professionals, but people that are worthy of asking advice of. And I want to know about your heart and where it's headed right now. Where's your heart headed right now? Where are you headed in your heart right now? And the Hanged Man pops up, and the Hanged Man tells us, this is a deeply intuitive card. It says that you need to keep sinking into your inner wisdom and your inner guidance. But it also is telling us that it's okay to have an outside perspective. It's okay just to be you, even if that's different from everybody else. Your heart is going to be best served by you leaning into your divine essence of who you are, seeing things the way that you see them, not just accepting things for what other people want or other people are guiding you to look at things a certain way. You look at them your way. And also, this is telling us, take your time. If you needed to just hang out for a second, you need to just take a moment to just remove yourself or, look at everything the way it is. This person could potentially start moving things along very fast, and you might need a moment to really get some perspective and to really see how it settles in your body. And this card is saying, do that. Take the time that you need. Let yourself take a moment, take a beat, take a breath. I would love for us to drop, the eyes emoji below for taking your own perspective, seeing things the way that you want to see them, that you need to see them, letting yourself have your own vision through your own eyes as your own essence. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe now. It helps us make more content. It's so wonderful when you do. And it also just really solidifies that you loved this reading and it resonates with you. And I also would love any comments that you have. I read all of the comments and I would love to see what you have to say about this. If this feels like it's hitting home for you, if there are things that feel like, oh, that thing, I want to tell you about this thing. I am sending you so much love, so much light, lifting you up until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia.